Automation World's Technology Matters. In this episode, we'll look at how overall equipment effectiveness, better known as OEE, can be a tool not just for understanding how well a machine or line is performing, but how it can also be a key part of the digital transformation of industry. We'll look at why BMW developed its own artificial intelligence-powered robots to address factory logistics issues. And finally, we'll look at the key cost factors associated with the use of cloud technologies for industrial companies that should not be overlooked. So, let's start with OEE. Now, it's fairly common knowledge in industry that OEE is a great tool for assessing production equipment to determine where improvements or repairs should be made. But to deliver insights that are precise enough to be of real value in determining new investments, OEE needs context. And to better understand this, we connected with Sam Russum of system integration firm Grantech for a recent episode of the Automation World Get Your Questions Answered podcast series. Now, in our discussion, Russum noted that a common mistake that he sees a lot of manufacturers make when installing software to help determine OEE is that they expect the system alone to drive improvements. OEE is a tool, he said, but it's not a prescriptive system that tells you necessarily how to fix a specific problem. So for OEE to drive extra value into your business, you need some type of programming and the proper funding around it. And these programs can range from continuous improvement engineering teams focused on projects based on OEE data, or the use of more in-depth analysis tools. Now, despite OEE's inability to deliver prescriptive corrections on its own, Russum said OEE can illuminate a lot of other roadblocks that could hinder a digital transformation program. He said OEE can serve as a checklist to see how ready you are for various digital transformation initiatives. Now, OEE is capable of doing this because of the core production information it provides. Russum said, so much digital transformation is about collecting data and putting the proper context around it to drive more informed decisions. And an OEE project is going to require you to collect some standard data from each of your lines of machines, which means that all of those machines need to be networked or somehow communication enabled to send the raw data to a server or system that can put information around it. And that's why OEE can be considered valuable within a digital transformation initiative as a benchmark to see if you're ready for other data enablement projects and to determine if your digital system is robust enough to prescribe changes or identify the key performance indicators to focus on to measure the effectiveness of digital transformation projects. Now, to hear this podcast episode and all of Russum's insights on OEE and the digital transformation, visit the URL shown here. Now, BMW is, of course, a well-recognized name in the automotive industry. Their production operations involve the handling of millions of parts flowing into a factory from more than 4,500 supplier sites. And on top of that logistical issue, BMW offers customers an average of 100 different options. And this means that 99% of customer orders are unique. Jürgen Meidel, Senior Vice President of Logistics for the BMW Group, said, ultimately, the sheer volume of possible configurations become a challenge to BMW Group production in three fundamental areas: computing, logistics planning, and data analysis. So to better handle logistics within its factories, BMW now uses 4 types of material handling robots and a smart transport robot, all of which were developed by BMW using NVIDIA's Isaac Robotics platform. Now, according to NVIDIA, its Isaac software development kit provides robots with neural networks capable of perceiving their environment, detecting objects, navigating autonomously, and moving objects. Now, the 5 different types of robots BMW outfitted with NVIDIA's technology are split bots, which take full plastic boxes from pallets in the incoming goods area and place them on a conveyor system that transport the boxes to a warehouse; place bots that unload tugger trains and place boxes loaded with goods on a shelf; pick bots, which have robotic arms that collect various small parts from supply racks; sort bots that take empty boxes and put them on pallets to be sent back to the supplier area of the warehouse; and the autonomous smart transport robots, which can identify obstacles and take alternative routes as needed. Now, all of these robots have been developed by BMW in the past 5 years, with most being deployed and tested in BMW factories since 2019. Now, the robots are tested at various BMW plants in Germany, as well as at the company's logistics laboratory in Munich, before being placed in the company's broader production operations. Now, of course, to read more about these robots, visit the URL shown here. Finally, let's look at the cloud cost factors all industrial companies should be aware of. Being aware of these costs is more important than ever, with the COVID pandemic pushing more manufacturers to move to the cloud for remote operations analysis, monitoring, and repair. Now, according to Paul Gomez, Vice President of Enterprise Delivery at Columbus Global, a technology service and consulting business, manufacturers should be aware of 7 specific cost factors when looking to move on-premise systems to the cloud. Now, number 1 is the extended migration needed. Here, Gomez stresses that it's important for manufacturers to realize they don't have to move their entire enterprise to the cloud all at once. Number 2 is deployment challenges. Because most manufacturers work with a mix of older and newer applications, they should realize that the older ones often require updates to function in the cloud. Some will even need to be replaced, and that's why Gomez recommends identifying these kinds of challenges before setting your budget. Number 3 is third-party support. Because migrating systems to the cloud isn't a simple process, most companies wind up hiring a third-party consultant. Gomez says these services are obviously costly and add cost to the total project, but manufacturers should realize that they're often essential to success. Number 4 is the cloud services themselves. There are many options for cloud services, some you'll need, some you won't, and others you may just want to try for a period of time. Gomez suggests using a tool like Microsoft Azure's pricing calculator to piece together products and services to determine your potential monthly rate. Number 5 involves moving, integrating, and testing. Gomez says that when moving data to the cloud, the data must be able to be moved safely. He also notes that apps may need modifications during integration and that infrastructure requires thorough testing before it can go live. And number 6 is ongoing actions. Manufacturers should realize that the cost of migration won't stop once they've launched to the cloud. Several continuing factors should be considered under your cost umbrella, like training staff on the cloud products, performing additional tests, adding more workloads, scaling services, and maintaining a secure environment. And number 7 is time spent. All of the 6 factors we've discussed here involve an element of time. So incorporate the cost of labor associated with these steps into your budget, or you'll risk underestimating by a significant margin. Now, to read the full article with more details on this advice, visit the URL shown here. So, I hope you found this episode of Technology Matters interesting, and that you'll check out these and other posts at automationworld.com. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do so by clicking on the AWTV logo on the bottom right side of your screen. So we'll see you soon with the next installment of Automation World's Technology Matters.